undertaking bold economic policies to propel Nigeria's economy out of the downturns occasioned by multiple shocks in the global economy. President Tinubu, who was represented at the event by Vice President Kashim Shettima, said the African caucus meeting is an opportunity to brainstorm on major challenges and strategies for fostering inclusive growth and sustainable development in Africa. Chairperson of the caucus, Nigeria's Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edo, said based on available data, 41 African countries are set for stronger growth, up to 3.8% from about 3.4% in 2024-22 and rise to 4.3% in 2025. For his part, African Union Commissioner for Economic Development, Trade, Tourism, Industry and Minerals, Ambassador Albert Muchanga, noted the importance of domestic resource mobilization, while the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who spoke virtually at the event, provided a comprehensive analysis of Nigeria's economic situation and potentials.
That our continent faces numerous challenges across economic, humanitarian and social spheres. However, I take consolation from the fact that we all recognize the potential we possess to overcome these challenges, and we are ready to take the necessary measures to translate our immense opportunities in natural resources and human capital into growth, innovation and collaboration.
Officers of the Nigerian Army and their counterpart from the Nigerian Police Force have occupied the entire Eagle Square in Abuja. The development follows the encounter between the security operatives and some protesters who almost led to a chaotic situation. Yesterday, correspondent Kolojo completes the story.
A combined team of officers of the Nigerian Army and their counterparts from the Nigerian Police Force have taken over the entire Eagle Square. Recall that there were skirmishes here yesterday when some protesters came to register their displeasure regarding the state of the nation. As you can see all around, the Eagle Square in Abuja has been dominated by officers of the Nigerian Army and their counterparts from the Nigerian Police Force.
Officers with armored personnel carriers and other vehicles armed to the teeth were positioned strategically within and around the Eagle Square to forestall breakdown of law and order in the axis. Also, entrance to the National Assembly, Appeal Courts, Foreign Affairs and other ministries were equally manned by Eagle High security operatives, while about 10 patrol teams were moving around the axis. Unlike yesterday, none of the agitators dare move closer to the arena as a result of structure put in place by the combined team of security agencies. All gates leading to the Eagle Square have been blocked with security vehicles, while Eagle Eye officers are on standby to confront any opposition. Also, commercial activities around the Federal Secretariat in Abuja have been paralyzed while streets have been deserted. Called that the Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, had at a press conference announced that all stations have been put on red alerts following the outcome of the protest on Thursday.
We wish to advise law-abiding citizens of Nigeria to heed and not dismiss warnings given by the police and other security agencies which were based on credible and actionable security intelligence. In the light of the current situation, the Nigerian Police Force has placed all units on red alert. Our officers are fully mobilized and prepared to respond swiftly and decisively to any further threats to public safety and order. We remain committed and resolute to protecting lives and property and ensuring that law and order are maintained across the nation. Groups who are hiding under the guise of exercise of a right provided in the Constitution to destabilize the country should also remember that the same Constitution imposed on them the duty to obey the laws of the land and respect the rights of other citizens.
This action followed the public disorder and unrest that trailed the protest on Thursday across the country.
From the Eagle Square in Abuja, Kunle Ojo, Galaxy TV.
And in Lagos State, the End Bad Governance protest that totally refused to abide by court order restraining the protest to the confine of Gani Fawehinmi Freedom Park at Ojota. Efforts of security operatives and leaders of the protest to move the protesters away from the road into the park were blatantly rejected. Galaxy News correspondent Lebi Joseph has more in this report.
End Bad Governance protesters stood their ground and occupied the highway at Ojota in complete defiance of the subsisting court order that the protest should be held at Gani Fawehinmi Freedom Park. They said going there could make them susceptible to attack.
One or two of your representatives to work with the security committee to be able to identify likely threats, either to you or to us. Let us work together. Because at the end of the day, what matters is the progress of all of us as a people. All of us are hungry. Mister, I can see you are not a rich man. You are struggling like the rest of us. Fuel price, can you afford?
Who came here today, once again, in this day too, to come and protest. And you can see very well, we are in a total dilemma in this country. The government has unleashed havoc on the working masses. And you can see barbaric poverty everywhere. And you can see hardship everywhere. You can see pains everywhere. You can see agony everywhere. And you can see the uncertainties, complexities everywhere. And people are ready to vent their anger on the system that impoverished them.
The protesters condemned several intimidations and harassment they are witnessing in the course of the protest. They insist that Nigeria could be better if the right things are done in the interest of the teeming populace.
So, the government of Nigeria can return back a bag of rice to 40,000. Why haven't they done it since? Can they, so they can remove money import duty? Why haven't they done it since? Don't it? We are tired.
Lawmakers are ending unnecessary allowance. Lawmakers, they are ending unnecessary allowance. That is too much.
From Lagos, this is Lebi Joseph reporting for Galaxy TV News.
As the nationwide protest enters its second day, protesters in Oyo State are challenging the federal government to be proactive and respond to the yearnings of the majority of Nigerians calling for change. The Secretary of Joint Action Front, Jaf Abiodun Bamigboye, while addressing journalists during the protest, said the government of President Bola Tinubu seems to be clueless, as it is yet to make a statement as the protest enters its second day. It challenged the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Trade Union Congress, TUC, and other labour groups to declare a two-day sit-at-home strike for their members in solidarity with the ongoing strike.
If it is a government that is sensitive to the pains of Nigeria, we will have expected such government by now. Even we are not expecting that all of the demands will be met in a day, but at least we will have expected the president to have come out to address the Nigerians, to pacify them, and to give a commitment, at least which of the demands is able or he will be able to attend to.
Rashidat Adeshina is one of the leaders of the protest, noted that the violent clashes occurring in some places in the north are a result of the failure of security agencies. Abiodun called on the government at all levels to implement their demands in a timely manner.
The responsibility of the peaceful protesters to ensure that the protest does not turn violent. It is the responsibility of the state security agencies generally, whether state or federal. Where those protests have turned violent, the security agencies should also take absolute 100% responsibility for the way it has turned in those states. Because from the report that we got, that violence started when the security agencies started to tear gas the protesters. Seen in Kano, people breaking shop, people destroying property, that they know that it's always an opportunity for government to further loot the public treasury. But they behave in that manner
because the Nigerian government has failed in its responsibility to make them a meaningful citizen. The way to forestall that in the coming period is to ensure that all of the demands we are putting forward at this time are met. Let public education be adequately funded.
Protesters came out in numbers in support of the nationwide protest against bad government in Kaduna, the state capital. The protesters will insist that they will continue to exercise their constitutional right until government adhere to their demands. Some Kaduna residents also appealed for calm, saying those who hijacked the protest yesterday should be fished out and be prosecuted, while appealing to government to improve the economy and secure the country.
To call on the attention of the state government, also the federal government, to address the issue of the populace, to address the issue of hunger, to address the issue of the hardship that people are facing. We are here also to call on the government of the federal level and the government of the state level that their policies are good, their policies are visionary, their policies are policies that will take this country to a higher height. We are just citizens of Nigeria. Nobody has given anybody money for him to come and do protest or whatsoever you call it. Yes. You understand, but we are here to protect our country. We are Nigerians. Because the moment you say protest, we have seen it there, it has happened in NSAS. Look at the last period, lives have been jeopardized. Lives and property have been jeopardized. A lot of people have lost their businesses, so we don't want such things to happen here. Call the attention of the all governors across the countries. Please and please, let this minimum wage be implemented. Because I had it the day before yesterday, Gombe State government is saying they cannot afford to pay that minimum wage. So what is the reasons? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he has already increased their revenue, that is federal allocation.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Normality seems to have returned to the streets of Yenagoa less than 24 hours after angry youth and women took to the streets in solidarity. Details of that and more coming out to the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818 6666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. No fewer than 4 persons were feared killed in Kaduna during the End Bad Governance protest, which was held across the country on Thursday. Family of one of the persons who was shot dead by security operatives, Hussein Tureki, in front of the Government House Kaduna, are pleading for help, as they say he was the breadwinner of the family. It will be recalled that the rally began peacefully but took a violent turn, leading to violent confrontations between the police and the protesters.
We now called, they said they should call commissioner before they would give us the coffee. They now called him. Now, after he came, they now said, let him see the body. We now tell him what happened. They now narrate everything that happened. He was shot at the back of his head. He said, okay, talk. Then they now signed, they said they should give us the coffee, now bring him home. And the problem that we are facing now, he has 8 children, 3 wives, 11 children. The issue now, actually nobody can take care of them.
Feeling fine. Because he's the one in our family remain. All of his sister, they are died. Now we don't have anybody in our own family. Please, we are begging government to help us because our father have a little children. Because if he's not alive, they cannot go to school. And this condition we are, poverty. To get food to eat 3 times now is not easy. If you have 1 time or 2 times, thank God, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please, let them help us.
Here at the residence of Hussaini Turaki, who was shot dead yesterday during one of the nationwide hunger and poverty protests. Galaxy TV, Busanya Kusak, Kaduna.
Youth in Edo State marched through the popular Ring Road as well as the Aduwawa, the Benin-Auchi Expressway in continuation of the End Auchi protest, which enters day 2. The youth barricaded the Benin-Auchi Expressway despite security presence as motorists remained in one spot for hours while the protest lasted. Several groups also took to the street as it was deserted during the protest march, which lasted for hours. The Edo Police Commissioner, on the first day of the protest, commended the youth for the orderly manner they conducted themselves in one spot before they took the decision to file out on the street on Friday. On day 2 of the nationwide protest on bad governance across Nigeria, Benue State has continued to witness relative peace right from day 1, even though there are rumors of some people planning to stage a protest, while residents of Makurdi are going about their business activities across the metropolis. The situation has remained peaceful as security agencies continue their show of force and manning several strategic locations to deter suspected hoodlums who might be nursing criminality during this period. The Benue State Police Command Public Relations Officer SP Catherine Anene commended the peaceful disposition of Benue people for aiding and not taking part in the End Bad Governance protest. States that police and other security agencies are out monitoring to ensure peace and not to intimidate. One resident who spoke to Galaxy News said hunger is everywhere and they hope that the present administration listens to the people.
It's calm, there's no cause for alarm. But I want to commend stakeholders in Benue State for yielding to our advice to stay home and not come out to protest. But we are out on the street to assure the good people of Benue State that there will be peace in Benue as long as we remain on our feet. Hoodlums will not be allowed to take the streets and cause mayhem in Benue State. The show of force you see today, like I said earlier, is an assurance that the police is in charge of the security situation in Benue State.
The hunger is too much, and as you can see me stand now, I didn't stand well because I have pain on my one leg and I cannot even take care of myself because the business I'm doing is not moving like before. The youth calm down, but what they are saying is that government should hear them. They should go and tell the president that the hunger is too much and things have become expensive, we cannot offer it.
As other states across the nation continue with the day 2 of the nationwide protest, traders in Awka, the Anambra State capital, opened for their various businesses, saying protest won't change the government narrative on hardship. Some residents who came out to join the protest said they were surprised seeing people trading and protecting their shops from Muslims. They call on the federal government to help fix the economy while also uniting Nigerians.
Everyone pursuing money, so you can't tell me like this one where they suffer now. You can't just say to stay at home because of the hungry protest. If we start, well, are we going to be the one to give our food to feed our children or our family? So if you think about it, The protest, I don't think it can solve the problem of the Nigerian economy. Is to first and foremost ensure that there is security in Nigeria. It is only when there is security that investors can come in and the economy will.
Essentially, Nigeria demands a focused, a rebranded, a refurbished, a reinvigorated level to take care of our fragile.
Now, when you see me now, why I come out with Keke, I come meet people. Whether I go feel see people, why I go feel join to do this protest. Because I come out now, I will see people where they work. Yeah, I know they're happy because I will see people where they work now.
Meanwhile, normalcy seems to have returned to the streets of Yenagoa, the state capital, less than 24 hours after angry youth and women took to the street in solidarity with the End Hunger and Bad government protest. This is coming as the state government deployed police and military personnel as well as plainclothes officers across red spot in the state capital. As early as 7 a.m. on Friday morning, patrol vans under Nigerian police and the military were seen at the popular Tombia roundabout, Okpolo, as well as the INEC junction leading to Government House. Some of the residents and traders we spoke to newsmen said though the atmosphere is calm, but the effect on the economy is biting hard on them, hence the need for the federal government to intervene.
Though we know that there are skeletal services in terms of transportation, because I even find it very difficult to come to my place of assignment. Well, the situation is relatively calm, and everybody is conducting his or her duty with that level of...
Town is peaceful, as you can see. I'm going to work. I just came out from my house, Fico. And I'm in Tombia Junction now. I'm about boarding vehicle to go to work. Nobody has stopped me.
The cost of things are too expensive. Yesterday, I bought 3 seeds of onion, very small, 500 naira. A cup of beans is 500 naira. A cup of rice is 500 naira.
Now, no way, now management. If you see one day, shop, you manage with your children. No way, they suffer too much. Make government help, make federal. I'm saying Apollo Market, I'm a market woman. For hungry is too much. Know how to feed children. If you come to market, you don't go sell. You don't go feed sell anything.
Concerned Nigerian Youth for Good Governance (CNYGG) has dissociated itself from the ongoing nationwide protest, citing efforts made by President Bola Tinubu's administration to address the country's challenges. At a press briefing in Abuja on Friday, the group, led by Ambassador Mahmoud Abubakar, acknowledged the current economic hardship but commended the president's swift intervention, including the lifting of ban and removal of import duties on food items. CNYGG also praised the Ministry of Works and FEMA, led by engineer Chukwuemeka, for their effort in road construction and rehabilitation, which have created jobs for youth.
We want to, at the same time, call on our fellow youth, especially those that still deem it fit that they want to continue the hours of rage protest, should look at the other side of it and join us and other well-meaning youth organizations that have pulled out from this protest. Our pulling out is not cowardice, but yes, we looking for every other means to get our result.
Amid the ongoing nationwide protests, a group of at least 50 members of the House of Representatives under the aegis of concerned members of the 10th Assembly has appealed for calm and patience amid ongoing protests and called for the removal of top-oil executives. The lawmakers addressed journalists in Abuja on Friday, emphasizing that the House had mandated the Joint Committee to investigate issues in the oil and gas sector, and a final decision was yet to be reached. The group, represented by Honorable Billy Usawaro, expressed concern over the protest, urging Nigerians to bring it to an end. They commended the National Assembly's effort at addressing the situation while appealing for calm. The lawmakers expressed confidence in President Bola Tinubu's renewed agenda and urged Nigerians to be patient, assuring that everything would be all right with time.
We wish to state that it is in the parliamentary culture to afford parties in investigation the right for fair hearing. Therefore, the call for removal of anyone while investigation is pending is premature. We therefore call on all Nigerians to be patient and law-abiding in the expectation of a better Nigeria.
Regarding the calls for removal of the Group Chief Executive Officers of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, and the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NNDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, the lawmakers considered it premature, but emphasized the importance of fair hearing and allowing the ongoing investigation to reach its conclusion.
Having observed the nationwide protest, we commend the youths and Nigerians in general for the manner they have conducted themselves. We appeal for calm while imploring all Nigerians to bring the protest to an end.
As the nationwide protest turned violent in some states of the country, the national president of All Progressive Congress Youth League, Olamide, appealed to the protesters to allow peace to reign and embrace dialogue. He said President Bola Tinubu has heard them loud and clear and has been introducing some programs and policies that will make life more comfortable for the citizens, especially the youth.
It's the most way of resolving issues. Even if you go around the streets, you know, after World War, there is still Jojo. Every one of us will still come to the round table discussion. In the spirit of Aluta, there are 3 C's in Aluta, which is a consultation, consolidation, even before confrontation. We have not even explored the 2 C's in this process. And the government is already listening to what the yearnings of the people, and is coming up with initiatives to, you know, to address all the challenges that is confronting us.
As a nationwide protest turned violent in some states of the country, the national president of All Progressive Youth League, Olamide Lawal, appealed to the protesters to allow peace to reign and embrace dialogue. He said the president has heard them loud and clear and has been introducing some programs and policies that will make life more comfortable for the citizens. Now let's go on a break. When we come back, the news continues. We are glad to have you back. Now moving to other stories. Stakeholders have lamented the low rate of exclusive breastfeeding among lactating mothers, saying it is a fundamental right of the child. The stakeholders spoke at the flag-off ceremony of the 2024 World Breastfeeding Week with the theme Closing the Gap, Breastfeeding Support for All, held in Abeokuta, Ogun State Capital. Correspondent John Felix reports.
It has been observed that for infants to develop a healthy immune system, all mothers must commit to 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding before starting supplemental feeding. The wife of the Ogun State Governor, Bamidele Abiodun, in an address stated that the initiative aims to raise awareness about exclusive breastfeeding and address harmful nutrition practices.
This is a time to take decisive actions to ensure a supportive breastfeeding environment for all working mothers, including those in the formal and informal sectors. As a state, we shall ensure that optimal breastfeeding practice is achieved as we continue to raise awareness about the importance of exclusive breastfeeding and dismantle the social stigma that surrounds breastfeeding. Championing the cause of securing 6 months maternity leave for mothers in this state, working with the executive and legislative arms of government.
On our part, the Commissioner for Health, represented by the Executive Secretary of the State Primary Healthcare Board, Elijah Ogunshola, noted that the week is celebrated to remind mothers, stakeholders and government of the need to join in advocating exclusive breastfeeding.
The one for this year, the theme is that we need to close the gap. As we speak in the state and at the national level, our exclusive breastfeeding rates around over 30%, which is a far cry. That means if we have 100 lactating mothers, 30 of them are practicing exclusive breastfeeding. So the remaining 70%, or let's say the remaining 65%, are not practicing it. And we know there are a lot of advantages. And the campaign for this year is to make sure we take out of that 65%. We have more of them coming to join exclusive breastfeeding. The advantage for this year, the country decided to set a record that in 1 minute we want to have over 33,000 lactating mothers breastfeeding their children across the state. My advice is for all stakeholders to use this week to reflect, to see that we have an advantage created by God. It's not affected by dollar, it's not affected by the economy. Breast milk has been given to all women, and we should not starve our children. Once we give back to these children, what they are going to eat for the next 6 months has been prepared by the Almighty God.
Breast milk give the child immunity. Breast milk, it's easy for the mother to give the child. It's not expensive, it's readily available. The quantity, the right temperature, it's easy and it's convenient both for the mother and for the baby.
World Breastfeeding Week is an annual celebration which is held every year from 1st to 7th August in more than 120 countries. From Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, John Felix reporting for Galaxy Television News.
The Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee, LPPC, has elevated 87 lawyers in the country to the prestigious rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN. The rank of a Senior Advocate of Nigeria is awarded as a mark of excellence to members of the legal profession who have distinguished themselves as advocates in academics. The 87 lawyers were conferred with the rank at the 164 plenary session of the committee under the chairmanship of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. A statement by the Secretary of the LPPC, Ajia Haju Seriki Bello, in Abuja, indicated that the 87 lawyers were picked for the award from 98 lawyers shortlisted last month. The statement also revealed that 11 applicants were dropped from the race for undisclosed reasons. Similarly, the meeting was said to have considered 5 different petitions written against some of the applicants and were dismissed for lacking in merit. The Kaduna State Internal Revenue Services cadres are sued the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company (KEDC) due to unpaid tax liabilities totaling over 600 million naira. During an enforcement exercise led by cadre's Executive Chairman Jerry Adams, the agency sued the business premises of Kaduna Electric Company. Adams stated that the service secured a court order for the immediate closure and takeover of the company's property until all unpaid taxes were settled. Adams emphasized that Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani is utilizing the state's internally generated revenue judiciously for socio-economic development and to complete both abandoned and ongoing projects in the state.
To execute a court order to distrain Kaduna Electric over liabilities due to the state amounting to about 600 million. These liabilities have been established since last year. From 2015, there are liabilities of 2015 to 2022, and we have done all the reconciliations, and we have a written agreement from KAEDCO.
Kidnapped former Delta Commissioner for Technical Education and House of Representative members Gerard Oyemichi is believed to have been killed by her abductors. Her corpse was said to have been dumped around the Onitsha end of the Niger Bridge on Thursday night with wounds all over her body and stripped naked. However, neither the police authorities nor the family gave confirmation or any inkling about her whereabouts as to whether the kidnappers have established contacts. A security source in Anambra confirmed the recovery of the corpse believed to be that of the kidnapped former lawmaker, even as the police is yet to issue a statement regarding her death. The State Police Command's Commissioner, CP Olufemi Abaniwanda, when contacted by a correspondent, said he cannot confirm the news of the killing since no corpse had been recovered. The former federal lawmaker representing Aniocha North was abducted on Tuesday evening at her church in Asaba, which led to the killing of a policeman and a driver. Now, we move to the international desk for more news. This is news from the international scene. U.S. President Joe Biden has said that the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh doesn't help talks over a potential ceasefire in Gaza. Haniyeh was killed during a visit to Iran's capital, Tehran, on Wednesday. Iran and its allies have blamed Israel, although Israel is yet to comment on his death. Haniyeh was Hamas' most senior official and was highly involved in ceasefire and hostage release talks from his base in Qatar. Biden said he was very concerned about rising tension in the Middle East. We have the basis for a ceasefire. He, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, should move on it, and the Hamas should move on it now. Israel and Hamas recently resumed tentative indirect talks to try to reach a ceasefire in the war in Gaza, though there have been conflicting accounts of progress. At the end of May, Biden outlined what he said were the terms of an Israeli ceasefire proposal. This has become the basis for an on-off indirect negotiation between Hamas and Israel since then, with Qatar, Egypt and US acting as mediators. The burial ceremony for Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh, who was assassinated in Iran on Wednesday, is underway in Qatar. Funeral prayers for Haniyeh will take place in Imam Mohammed bin Abdul Wahab Mosque, the largest in Qatar, before he is buried at a cemetery in Lusail, a city north of Doha. Prominent figures in the Hamas movement, including his predecessor as leader Khalid Mishal, stood on the tarmac at Doha airport as a plane carrying Haniyeh's coffin landed from Iran on Thursday afternoon. Haniyeh was killed during a visit to Israel capital. Iran and its allies have blamed Israel, though Israel has not claimed responsibility for his death. Hamas said that Arab and Islamic leaders and those involved with other Palestinian factions would attend, as well as members of the public. Turkey and Pakistan announced a day of mourning on Friday in honor of Haniyeh, while Hamas has called for roaring anger marches from every mosque to take place after Friday prayers to protest Haniyeh's killing. 3 Americans who were freed in a prisoner swap deal with Russia, including Wall Street Journal reporter Ivan Gershkovich, have arrived back on U.S. soil. Gershkovich, 32, was one of 16 people swapped for 8 Russian prisoners in what has been described as the biggest exchange since the end of the Cold War between Russia and the West. The exchange at an airfield in Turkey also included the release of former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan and Russian-American journalist Alsu Kumasheva. After touching ground at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, Gershkovich, Kumasheva and Whelan emerged from the jet to cheer from those on the tarmac. All 3 were greeted by U.S. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris before they embraced their families. Speaking ahead of their return, Biden welcomed their release and declared their brutal ordeal is over. The 3 released Americans were then sent to the Brooke Army Medical Center in Texas for a medical checkup. Still on the international scene, 2 nights of violence protests in English towns this week following the knife attack in Southport reveal how today's far right is organizing in the UK. Analysis of activity on mainstream social media and in smaller public groups show a clear pattern of influencers driving a message for people to gather for protest, but there is no single organizing force at work. Not everyone attending these protests or posting about the South Park attacks hold fringe views, supports rioting, or is linked to far-right group. The protests also appear to draw in people concerned about violent crimes or misled by the misinformation that the attack was linked to illegal immigration. Merseyside police have publicly identified the English Defence League EDL as a key factor. While there are people who describe themselves as EDL supporters, the organisation ceased to exist in any formal sense after its founder Stephen Zaxley Lennon, who uses the alias Tammy Robinson, focused on spreading his message on social media platforms where he has a sizable following. But its core ideas, in particular an opposition to illegal migration mixed with indiscriminate and racist claims about Muslims, are very much alive and loudly and widely spread among sympathisers online. Security gates have been rammed outside several Irish government and state-owned buildings in Dublin. The sites affected include gates outside the Oireachtas Irish Parliament, the Irish President's official residence in Phoenix Park and the Customs House. Garda, Irish police, said the man in his 40s was detained on suspicion of traffic offences after a crash on Marion Street Upper, which is near the Parliament. They said they were investigating the incident as road traffic collision and criminal damage. It has not yet been officially confirmed if all the incidents are linked, but the gates were all damaged during the early hours of Friday morning. Irish broadcaster RTA has reported that at least 3 sets of gates at Government Building and Upper Marion Streets were damaged. It said a white transit van suspected to be involved in the incident was towed away from Government Building. Lastly, on the international scene, landslides that hit the southern Indian state of Kerala earlier this week have killed 196 people. More than 200 people are still missing and some 9,000 people have been moved to relief camps. Reports from the badly hit district of Wayanad says, "Have you seen this girl or her body?" Clutching a mobile phone close to her heart, a woman goes from village to village asking people the same question. She shows 2 pictures of her niece Anita, who is missing. The woman, who was too traumatized to disclose her name, says she received picture on WhatsApp from some friends who thought it was Anita. Since then, she has been trying to locate her niece, but hasn't been successful. She's not sure if Anita is dead or alive. Her story resembles that of many others who are desperately searching for their loved ones. Nearly 200 people are still missing after vast swaths of the area were flattened by thick torrents of mud and water on Tuesday. The disaster struck at 2 a.m. as most people slept, giving them little chance to escape. And that's it from the international scene. Coming your way next, entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. My name is Rose Blossom Mwe. Here are the stories on Entertainment News Desk for today. American rapper Cardi B has revealed that she's expecting her 3rd child after announcing that she's getting a divorce from Offset. The 31-year-old hip-hop diva announced the news on Instagram on Thursday, a day after filing for divorce from her husband of 6 years, Offset, who is 32 years old. The Bodak Yellow rapper is seeking primary custody of their 5-year-old daughter, Culture, and 2-year-old son, Wave. This isn't the first time Cardi B has called for a divorce from Offset since they tied a knot in 2017. Cardi previously filed to legally end their marriage in September 2020, explaining to fans at that time that it wasn't because of cheating, although their relationship had been warped with infidelity rumors. However, the couple reconciled and the divorce filing was retracted. Despite their effort to work things out in their marriage, the distance between them kept growing, leading to this latest separation. Famous Afrobeat musician Burna Boy has warned his fans not to involve him in the ongoing nationwide hunger protest. He reports the Nigerian youth on Thursday, August 1st, commenced a 10 days nationwide protest against economic hardship. Some of his fans took to social media to call out celebrities to lend their voices to the protest. Addressing his fans on X handle, Burna Boy warned that no one should drag him into demonstrations, stating that the fight in him died during the EndSARS protest on October 20, 2020. Also, Burna Boy has caused a stir among fans as he hands over his African Giant title to his colleague Falz. This is coming amidst the singer's rant on his X page, dissociating himself from the ongoing nationwide protest due to an incident that occurred in October 20th during the EndSARS protest. In reaction to one of his posts, an ex-user accused Burna Boy of hiding under the name African Giant. The last crooner swiftly replied that he has handed over the African Giant to Falz. Since its release in 2022 as one of the lead singles of Rema's debut album, Raves and Roses, Calm Down has enjoyed huge global commercial success. In a testament to its status as the most commercially successful African song in the United States, Rema's Calm Down with Selena Gomez has now sold 7 million units, thus earning it an RIAA 7-time platinum plaque. Its latest feat in the US comes after it became the first African song to surpass 1 billion streams in the country in a landmark moment for the hitmaker and Nigerian music. Calm Down Remix enjoyed the massive success in the US, where it spent about 52 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. Its number 3 picks on the chart also became the highest pick for the Nigerian song and the second for an African song, just behind Huge Masakale's 1968 record, Grazing in the Grass, which reached number 1. Finally, on entertainment news, Yeni Kuti, the first daughter of late Afrobeat originator Fela Anikulapo Kuti, has marked the 27th year death anniversary of her late father. The mother of one shared several pictures of the injuries her father sustained during his struggle for a better life in Nigeria. According to her, images made into a collage were from his numerous beatings through the years before his unfortunate passing 27 years ago. In the caption of a post, the woman who got a car on her 60th birthday prayed that she hoped that the struggles and sufferings of her father was not in vain and will not be in vain. Yeni also told people in positions of power to listen to the cries of the people. According to her, the people are the most important part of the government. And that'll be all on entertainment news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rose Blossom Mwe. Bye for now.
Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 028 6666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. And that's all we have for you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Eribami Salako. Do have a great weekend.